The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the cobblestone streets of Prague as Margot Robbie stepped out of the Grand Hotel Europa, her heels clicking against the ancient stones. The film festival had been exhausting, 3 days of red carpets, interviews, and premieres, but somehow invigorating. Beside her, Leonardo DiCaprio adjusted his leather jacket and slipped on his sunglasses, the familiar gesture of someone accustomed to being recognized. "I still can't believe they paired us for this festival circuit," Leo said, running a hand through his hair. "6 months ago, we were practically strangers." Margot smiled, tucking a strand of her blonde hair behind her ear. "Strange how life works, isn't it? One film changes everything." Their movie, Echoes of Tomorrow, had become an unexpected international sensation. What started as an independent sci-fi drama about two strangers finding connection in a post-apocalyptic world had resonated with audiences globally. Critics called their on-screen chemistry magnetic and authentic. The irony wasn't lost on either of them. Their characters had found each other in a broken world, and somehow, the actors had found an unexpected friendship in the chaos of sudden fame. As they walked toward their waiting car, discussing dinner plans and the next day's early flight to Berlin, a small figure emerged from the doorway of a closed shop. The girl couldn't have been more than 12, her clothes too big and worn thin, her dark hair hanging in tangled waves around a face that spoke of too much hardship for someone so young. She approached hesitantly, her eyes fixed on Margot with a mixture of hope and disbelief. When she spoke, her English was careful but clear, tinged with a local accent. "Excuse me, are you Margot Robbie? From Echoes of Tomorrow?" Margot stopped, her expression immediately softening. She'd grown accustomed to fans approaching her, but something about this girl's manner, vulnerable yet determined, struck her differently. "Yes, I am," Margot replied gently, crouching down to the girl's eye level. "What's your name?" "Elena," the girl whispered, then looked down at her worn sneakers. I watched your movie. At the shelter, they have movie nights sometimes. Your character, she reminded me of." Elena's voice trailed off. Leo, who had been hanging back respectfully, now stepped closer, his natural curiosity overriding any concern about being recognized on the street. "She reminded you of who?" he asked softly. Elena looked up at him, her eyes widening slightly. "You're Leo Hartwell. I recognize you too." She turned back to Margot, gathering courage. "Your character reminded me of my mama. Before she got sick. She used to tell me that even when everything seems broken, there's always something beautiful to hold on to." Margot felt her heart clench. Without thinking, she opened her arms. "Would you like a hug, Elena?" The girl's carefully constructed composure crumbled. She stepped forward into Margot's embrace, and for a moment, the busy street seemed to fade away. Margot could feel Elena's thin shoulders shaking slightly, and she held her a little tighter. "Where are you staying, sweetheart?" Margot asked when Elena finally pulled back. "There's a place, for kids like me." "It's okay," Elena said quickly, as if afraid she'd said too much. "I just wanted to say thank you. Your movie made me feel less alone." Leo knelt down beside them, his usual confident demeanor replaced by something gentler. "Elena, can I ask you something? If you could do anything with your life, anything at all, what would it be?" Elena's eyes lit up for the first time since she'd approached them. "I want to study. I want to be a teacher, like my mama was. She taught English before." She gestured vaguely, unable to finish the sentence. "What happened to your parents, if you don't mind me asking?" Margot said gently. "Mama died 2 years ago. Cancer. Papa." Elena shrugged. "He left before that. It's just me now." The weight of those simple words hung in the air between them. Leo and Margot exchanged a look, one of those wordless communications that had developed during their months of working together. "Elena," Leo said, pulling out his phone. "I want to give you my manager's contact information. Would that be okay? Elena looked confused. I don't understand. Sometimes, Margot explained, people cross paths for a reason. Maybe we're meant to help each other. They spent the next 20 minutes sitting on a bench outside the hotel, talking with Elena about her life, her dreams, and her circumstances. She lived in a group home for displaced children, attended public school when she could, but often missed classes to earn small amounts of money helping local shopkeepers or cleaning offices after school. Her English was remarkably good, a testament to her mother's teaching and her own determination to maintain the connection to her mother's profession. I have an idea, Leo said as their conversation continued. But I'll need to make some phone calls first. Elena, can you meet us back here tomorrow at the same time? Elena nodded eagerly, though uncertainty flickered in her eyes. Promise me something, Margot said, taking Elena's hands in hers. Promise me you won't give up on your dream of being a teacher. The world needs people like you, people who understand what it means to struggle and still choose to help others. I promise, Elena whispered. After Elena left, Leo and Margot sat in their car in contemplative silence. We have to do something, Margot finally said. I was thinking the same thing, Leo replied. I know someone who runs an educational foundation. They provide scholarships for displaced children throughout Europe. You think they'd consider Elena? After I tell them her story? After they see how determined she is? Absolutely. That evening, instead of the planned dinner at an upscale restaurant, they found themselves in Leo's hotel room, laptops open, making calls despite the late hour. Leo reached out to his contacts in the education world, while Margot researched local schools and support systems in Prague. Here, Margot said, pointing to her screen. There's an international school here that has a partnership with several universities. They offer full scholarships for exceptional students facing hardship. Leo looked up from his phone. And I just spoke with Catherine Morrison, you remember her, she presented at the UN Education Summit last year? Her foundation specifically focuses on children who've lost parents. She's very interested in Elena's case. Really? More than interested. She wants to set up a Skype call with Elena tomorrow. They worked until well past midnight, crafting a plan that could change Elena's entire trajectory. It wasn't just about money, though the scholarship would cover tuition, books, housing, and living expenses. It was about creating a support network, mentorship opportunities, and a pathway to the teaching career Elena dreamed of. The next day, they met Elena at the same bench. Her eyes were bright with curiosity and barely contained excitement. Elena, Leo began, we want to ask you some questions, and we want you to answer honestly. No right or wrong answers, okay? What followed was an impromptu interview. Margot and Leo asked Elena about her favorite subjects, her study habits, her goals, and her understanding of what it would mean to commit to years of intensive education. Elena's responses revealed not just intelligence, but wisdom beyond her years and a maturity forged by necessity. There's someone I'd like you to meet, Leo said, pulling out his laptop. Catherine Morrison runs an educational foundation. She'd like to talk with you. The video call lasted an hour. Catherine, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and a warm smile, spoke with Elena about her background, her dreams, and her willingness to work hard for her education. Elena answered every question thoughtfully, her English becoming more confident as the conversation progressed. When the call ended, Catherine's message was clear, Elena, I would be honored to offer you a full scholarship through our foundation. This includes not just school, but housing with a carefully selected host family, tutoring support, and mentorship throughout your education. Elena stared at the laptop screen in stunned silence. Tears began streaming down her face. Is this real? She whispered. It's real, Margot said, wrapping an arm around Elena's shoulders. But there's one condition. Elena looked up, worried. You have to promise to work hard, stay focused on your goals, and remember to help others along the way, just like someone helped you today. I promise, Elena said through her tears. I promise, I promise, I promise. But Leo and Margot weren't finished. Over the next week, as they continued their festival circuit through Berlin, Vienna, and finally London, they documented Elena's story. Not for publicity, they were careful to protect her privacy, but to create something special. Working with a video editor friend of Leo's, they crafted a personalized message for Elena. It featured both actors, speaking directly to the camera, sharing their own stories of overcoming obstacles and following dreams. They talked about the importance of education, the power of determination, and the beautiful truth that sometimes, when we help others, we help ourselves too. Elena, Margot said in the video, we want you to know that we believe in you. Not just because we see your potential, but because we've seen your heart. You're going to make an incredible teacher someday. Leo's part of the message was equally heartfelt. Remember that day we met you? You were brave enough to approach two strangers and share your story. That courage is going to serve you well in everything you do. Education will give you tools, but your spirit, that's what will make you extraordinary. The video was delivered to Elena along with the scholarship paperwork, a new laptop for her studies, and a collection of books about teaching and educational theory. 6 months later, Margot received an email from Elena, now settled with her host family and excelling at the international school. The message was written in perfect English. Dear Margot and Leo, I hope this message finds you both well. I wanted to update you on my progress and to thank you once again for changing my life. I am now in my second semester at Prague International Academy. My grades are excellent, all A's so far. My favorite subjects are English literature and psychology, though I'm also loving my education theory class. My host family, the Novaks, are wonderful. They have 2 children of their own, and Mrs. Novak was actually a teacher before she retired. She's been helping me with my pedagogy studies. I've also started volunteering at the same shelter where I used to stay. Once a week, I help younger children with their homework and reading. It's given me even more confidence that teaching is my calling. But I wanted to tell you about something else. Last month, I was walking to school when I saw a boy about my age sitting alone, looking lost. He had clearly been living on the streets. I thought about that day when I approached you both, how scared I was but how much I needed help. So I sat down next to him and started talking. His name is Tomas. He's been on his own for 8 months. Like me, he lost his parents and had nowhere to go. I brought him to the shelter, helped him get registered for school, and now I tutor him twice a week. He's incredibly smart, he just needed someone to believe in him. I realize now that what you both gave me wasn't just a scholarship. You showed me that kindness creates a chain reaction. When someone helps you, you don't just accept it, you pass it forward. I have big news. I've been accepted to the early admission program at Charles University for Education Studies. If I maintain my current grades, I can begin university courses while finishing my final year of secondary school. My dream of becoming a teacher is getting closer every day. I think about you both often, and I watch Echoes of Tomorrow whenever I feel overwhelmed or uncertain. Your characters found each other in a broken world and made it beautiful again. That's what I want to do as a teacher, help people find the beautiful parts of life, even when everything seems broken. Thank you for seeing me that day. Thank you for caring about a stranger. Thank you for believing in dreams. With all my love and gratitude. Elena. P.S. I still have the video message you made for me. I watch it whenever I need courage. Mrs. Novak says I should frame a screenshot from it for my future classroom, a reminder of how my teaching journey began. Margot read the email 3 times before forwarding it to Leo. Within minutes, her phone rang. Did you read it? Leo's voice was thick with emotion. Twice. I'm crying in a coffee shop right now. She's tutoring other kids. She's already teaching, Margot. I know. And did you see the part about university early admission? She's going to be an incredible educator. They talked for nearly an hour, marveling at Elena's progress and feeling a deep satisfaction that had nothing to do with box office numbers or critical reviews. This was different. This was real impact. You know what I keep thinking about? Margot said as their conversation wound down. What? That day we met her, I was feeling so overwhelmed by all the fame and attention. Everything felt surreal and kind of empty, you know? But talking with Elena, helping her, that felt more real than anything that had happened to us in months. I've been thinking the same thing, Leo replied. Maybe that's why we were meant to meet her. Maybe we needed her as much as she needed us. 3 years later, Leo and Margot were invited to Elena's high school graduation ceremony in Prague. She was valedictorian of her class and had been accepted to multiple prestigious universities. She chose to stay at Charles University, where she would study education with a focus on supporting displaced and at-risk youth. In her valedictorian speech, Elena spoke about the power of unexpected encounters and the ripple effects of kindness. She didn't mention Margot and Leo by name, they had requested she keep their involvement private, but her message was clear: sometimes the most important moments in our lives come disguised as chance meetings with strangers. After the ceremony, the three of them sat in the same cafe where Elena had first told them about her teaching dreams. I have something for you both, Elena said, pulling out a beautifully wrapped package. Inside were 2 handwritten letters and a small wooden frame containing a photo of Elena with a group of children at the shelter. These are some of the kids I work with now, she explained. 3 of them have received scholarships to good schools. 2 are learning English so they can become translators. 1 wants to be a doctor. They all know that someone they've never met helped make their dreams possible too. Margot opened her letter first. Elena's handwriting was elegant and precise. Dear Margot, you once told me that your character reminded me of my mama, and that she used to say that even when everything seems broken, there's always something beautiful to hold on to. I want you to know that you've become like a mama to me in a different way. Not someone who gave birth to me, but someone who gave birth to my dreams and helped me believe they could come true. The beautiful thing I hold on to now is the knowledge that kindness exists in unexpected places, and that we all have the power to change someone's life simply by paying attention and caring enough to act. Forever your grateful daughter of the heart. Elena. Leo's letter carried a similar message, thanking him for teaching her that courage wasn't about not being afraid, but about acting despite fear. Elena, Leo said, his voice unusually quiet, I need to tell you something. That day we met you changed our lives too. We were caught up in this whirlwind of fame and success, but it all felt hollow somehow. Helping you reminded us why we became actors in the first place, to tell stories that matter, to make people feel less alone. You gave us purpose beyond just entertaining people. That's why we started the foundation, Margot added. Elena looked puzzled. What foundation? Leo and Margot exchanged a smile. We didn't tell you because we wanted to surprise you at graduation. We've established the Elena Novak Foundation for Educational Opportunity. It provides scholarships and support specifically for displaced children who want to become teachers. Elena's eyes widened. You named it after me? We named it after the girl who taught us that sometimes the most important thing you can do is pay attention to the people others might overlook, Margot explained. The foundation has already helped 12 children in 4 different countries. And this is just the beginning. I don't know what to say, Elena whispered. Say you'll help us run it, Leo said. After you finish university, if you're interested, we'd love to have you involved in identifying and supporting other children like yourself. But I want to teach, Elena said. You will teach, Margot assured her. You'll teach in the classroom, and you'll also help us understand how to best support children who are facing the same challenges you once faced. You'll be teaching all of us. 5 years later, Dr. Elena Novak, she had completed her PhD in educational psychology with a focus on trauma-informed teaching methods, stood before a classroom of 28 eager faces at Prague International Academy. It was the same school where she had been a scholarship student, and now she was back as a professor in their education department. On her desk sat the framed screenshot from the video message Margot and Leo had sent her so many years ago, along with photos of the 43 children who had received scholarships through the Elena Novak Foundation. Some were now teachers themselves, others were doctors, engineers, social workers, and artists. All of them carried forward the lesson Elena had learned on a cobblestone street outside a grand hotel, that one moment of connection can change everything. Elena's own story had become part of the curriculum she taught to future educators. She called it the Street Angel Principle, the idea that every child you encounter might be carrying dreams that just need someone to notice and nurture them. At the end of each semester, Elena would show her students the video message from Margot and Leo, carefully edited to protect their privacy but preserving the essence of their words about courage, determination, and the power of believing in someone else's potential. The most important thing you'll learn as teachers, she would tell her students, isn't found in any textbook. It's this: sometimes the greatest gift you can give a student isn't knowledge, it's simply seeing them, really seeing them, and helping them see themselves as capable of more than they ever imagined. And in cities around the world, former street children were now standing in their own classrooms, carrying forward the ripple effects of one afternoon when two movie stars decided to stop and really listen to a girl who just needed someone to care. The street angel had become a teacher of teachers, and her message continued to spread, that every encounter is an opportunity, every moment of kindness matters, and dreams deferred are not dreams denied, sometimes they're just dreams waiting for the right person to help water them into bloom. 10 years after that first meeting, Elena received a call from Margot. Leo and I are in Prague for a film festival, it's the anniversary of where this all started. Would you meet us at the old bench outside the Grand Hotel Europa? Elena, now Dr. Novak, professor and foundation director, walked to the hotel with her own daughter, adopted from the same shelter system where she had once lived. As they approached the familiar bench, she saw Margot and Leo waiting, older now but with the same kind eyes that had seen her all those years ago. I have someone I'd like you to meet, Elena said, gently guiding her daughter forward. This is Sophia. She's 8 years old, and she wants to be a teacher, just like her mama. The circle continued, as it always does when kindness plants seeds in fertile hearts. And somewhere in Prague, on a cobblestone street where dreams once seemed impossible, the echoes of that first embrace still rippled outward, creating tomorrow's teachers, tomorrow's healers, tomorrow's hope. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoy this video and learned a lesson. I would be grateful for your likes. Also don't forget to subscribe and comment on the video. See you soon.